Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we get a lot more done in this corner here. We get the kidney bowl in, a few other repairs done across here, and this rear chassis repaired, so check it out. Okay, straight into this repair here. I've prepped the panel to go on, but as you can see, this is all gnarly and needs repairing. And it is under here as well, so I just need to cut this bit off and then I can repair all around here and then put this panel on. Okay, so here I've got the sort of the inside of the inner longitudinal here. This is a seat rail mount. This is obviously the old bit of floor that we're removing as well. So now this is all gone, I need to trim the new inner longitudinal down and get that welded in. Here I'm using my verniers to take a rough measurement from the offcut and transferring it onto the new panel so I know how much to trim off. Okay, so that's this panel trimmed down now. I've put some weld through primer in a couple of areas. Here is where the heater tube bracket is, and then it will plug through here, but I'm not going to drill those holes for plug welding until I've got this panel fitted. And then likewise at the back, this all plugs to like the inner section. And then obviously I've hole punched all along here where it will weld to the floor. But I'm not going to put weld through primer on that yet, because what I think I'm going to do is once we've repaired all of the shell apart from the floor, we'll then get it blasted. So it'd be pointless putting weld through primer on that now. So yeah, now I need to just prep all in here, get some weld through primer in here, and then we can start welding it in. So before I can weld that panel in, I just need to repair some damage here on the heel board and then cut out some rust in the corner. With the inside of the longitudinal painted, I can fit the heater tube and weld in the middle sill. Okay, so our jacking point is now fitted. The next thing I want to do is fit the kidney bowl here. But to do that, I want to offer up the outer sill, which will then set our back distance for the kidney bowl. And as you can see, this has all been spot welded in nice as well. So yeah, making good progress. Okay, so I've just thrown the door wrong, so I wanted to make sure that we had the sill in the right place. So we've now got a nice gap under here, but it took a little bit of adjustment. I had to move the back edge of the sill down, which then meant I had to move the kidney bowl down. So that just shows it's always worth doing a bit of a trial fit with your panels, whether that be a door, your bonnet, or any closing panel really. But yeah, that all fits in there quite nicely now. Looks nice and even where it spot welds along to the inner seal. Jacking point gap looks good, and yeah, this kidney bowl's in the right place now. So I can finish prepping all of this area. I'm gonna hole punch the kidney bowl so I can plug weld it in, and then we can move on. Okay, kidney bowl now welded in fully. A couple of small repairs in the back here to the bottom of this panel and up here, and welded that little bit back on there. And I've just popped the seal back on just to double check that I'm happy with everything, and that all looks good. I've noticed that there's quite a few, well, you can see all the daylight coming through there, quite a few bits of rust up in here. This is rusty as well, so this needs to be repaired. So what I'm going to do is actually remove this quarter panel to get access to all of that. And that means that when we have the shell blasted, all of there can be blasted absolutely perfectly, and then we can refit the quarter panel. Okay, so I've drilled out the spot welds that hold this quarter panel on. This was brazed, so I've just used a cutting disc just to cut this side of the braze. There's loads of spot welds along here. So if I was to drill that all out, that would just disappear. So I think I'm going to use an angle grinder to cut through there, cut across here, and then I will repair that flange later. Okay, quarter panel off now, so that gives us better access to repair this mount here. We've got a couple of perforated areas along here, and then a whole lot of grot on the back of this chassis rail, and obviously this rear panel. So yeah, it looks a bit drastic. It's not an awful lot of work to put back, so I'm not too worried, and it gives us good access to make the other repairs that we need. Okay, so I've got 4 holes I need to repair. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm now going to make these pieces and we'll get it all repaired. Okay, so all of those repairs are now done. Next up is this chassis rail. I think I'm going to have to come back to about here, and then I'm going to come across here. Okay, so with that removed, you can see how horrid it is in there. This is the inside of the bit I've cut off, and it looks like a load of acid residue again. There's a strengthening piece in there for the bumper mounts, which you can see have both snapped. So we can't buy this panel, so we'll have to make this. But I have ordered the inner panel, so we can get rid of all of that grot as well. And then, yeah, we can then start moving on to the back panel. Okay, so I've started by marking it out with a Sharpie, and there's a few shapes to this panel, so once it's marked out, I can use the guillotine and the shear to cut it to shape, and then use the sheet metal folder to put the 2 angles in that I need. Once that's done, I've got a little bit of a pocket shape to put in, which I use a hammer and form to do this with. Next up is the reinforcement plate for the bumper mount. This has 2 captive nuts welded in place, and then I can use the sheet metal folder to put some strength into the sides. Okay, so here's our old bit of chassis rail with the rotten reinforcement plate in there and 2 snap bolts. You can see a little bit of shape to it, a little bit of a pocket there, and 2, see the angles, 2 angles there. And then we've made this new reinforcement plate made, 2 captive nuts all spot welded on. And we've got our little pocket there, and then our 2 angles. So hopefully this fits nicely. Right, let's get it fitted. There we go, that is the rear chassis rail all repaired. It's gone in quite nicely. I'll paint in here when we take this inside panel off. I've ordered a repair panel for that. So yeah, that is actually this side pretty much done now. I think what I'm going to do is take it out of the metalwork room, have a good tidy up in here, because it's a bit of a bomb site. And then we'll flip it round and crack on with the other side. Well, as you can see, we've now got the car flipped around in the metalwork room. I'm going to start on this corner, just like we did with the other side, and work our way back, but that will be in the next video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!